In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about semen retention attraction secrets nobody tells you. The number one thing that nobody tells you when you go on semen retention that you will start to have is you becoming more present. I cannot stress this enough, how being present is one of the greatest things that you can do as an individual if you are trying to enhance your life and maybe even attract somebody on NoFap. See, the thing is, like, she has to see your attention as a drug. What I'm trying to get at is when you fat recently, there's this thing called brain fog that happens, and you're just not in the flow of life that you can be, as opposed to you going on NoFap/retention. This is what they don't tell you. When you go on NoFap and then you, maybe for an example, maybe if you're talking to a girl and you're on NoFap, you are going to come across as the most present version of yourself to her based off your body language. If she's asking you more questions than you're asking her, then this actually is a pretty good sign. See, the thing is, a lot of guys don't know about subtle body language cues, subtle attraction triggers. They have no idea about this. And the reason why they don't have any idea about this is because they were told to just talk all the time. But if you become someone who comes across as a little bit mysterious, you present yourself well, and you listen and you engage in conversation, and you make it that you're pretty interested in what she's talking about, and you're reacting in a certain ways, they're going to love to speak to you. This is what you have to realize. I have seen this day in and day out. If you ask them open-ended questions and you add on to some of their conversation, more than likely than not, they are going to find you attractive because you can connect with them. So this is what you have to realize. So the bottom line is, the mistake a lot of guys make is that they just talk too much. They're revealing every single thing about themselves. And if they're revealing everything about themselves, what is there for her to know? What is there for her to find out? You have to come back a little bit and talk to her. Make sure that it actually comes across as genuine. You have to go for maybe women that you're actually interested in. 2, actually be genuinely interested in what she's talking about, but still have a detachment from the outcome. If you're able to do this, you're more likely to become attractive. So the bottom line is, what they don't tell you, what nobody talks about on semen retention, is your ability to enhance conversation and to just have a more conversation and be a better conversationalist. Also, when you go on retention, you're just a lot more free-flowing. If you fap recently and you're talking to a girl, you're not gonna be more ballsy. You're not gonna take as much risks, and you're going to be a shell of yourself. You're going to be, quote unquote, a beta cuck. Meaning you're not going to be able to generate the conversation to a man-woman dynamic. It's going to be more friendly, and friendly isn't going to get you anywhere. There has to be some sort of man-woman interaction. Another thing that I realized is when you're on retention, you definitely are a little bit more assertive, and this is actually a good thing, because if you're too nice, if you're not assertive, if you don't have any boundaries, people will walk all over you. They have no choice but to, because you're allowing them to. You have to have a little bit of assertiveness in you. And the best way to do this is to increase your testosterone. Go on NoFap for a good amount of time. Work out consistently. Meditate. Work on purpose-filled mission. Actually care about your life and actually make it the best that it can be, and make the decisions that benefit you in the long run. If you're doing this, you're going to come across as alpha. You're going to come across as someone who is a hot commodity. You're someone who is actually going places because you actually have boundaries. A lot of guys don't have boundaries. They're going to take whatever they can get. You have to have yourself. You have to have some boundaries. You have to connect with her in a way so she's intrigued enough to actually talk to you. Connect with her, bring her along with you, and make sure it's a good dynamic. It's a man-woman dynamic, and you still have to be a bit scarce. You have to give her what she wants at the beginning. Keep going through that. Make sure there's good emotions between you two. Usually, if you're feeling good about it, she may be feeling good about it, and then eventually, you may just have to keep yourself at a distance. This doesn't mean to be distant. It just means to keep yourself at a distance, if that makes sense. So give her what she wants at the beginning. Be at a distance in the middle part, and maybe go back and forth. This is how you get her on an emotional roller coaster. This is how she may fall for you. But you have to, at the beginning, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to be talking, I'm going to ignore her. There has to be some sort of initial attraction between both parties in order for something to happen, and then you continue it until eventually it falls out, and it's called giving her uncertainty. If you're able to do this for the long term, she's more likely to be drawn to you. But the bottom line is you never get attached, because women date around. You as a man should be able to date around too, to keep your options open. They don't talk about you being the most present, lethal version of yourself, and you're going to become the most attractive version of yourself, and things are going to go well for you. Things will go well for you. Your life is going to become better. You're going to be more assertive. You're going to have more woman attraction, especially based off how you present yourself. It's going to be apparent. You're going to come across as attractive. Look out for the people who either may be too insecure to talk to you, or they may really show some attraction. This is what you have to decipher. Nobody talks about you becoming your most present version of yourself, and you're going to be an absolute stud based off how you present yourself. There's a lot of cowards. There's a lot of people hiding in the dark. What you hide in the dark will come out to light. You complain about all these different things that you're not getting, but what do you do in your free time? You have to stay ready. Practice being ready. It will eventually pan out for you. You are not separate from your desires. You're not separate from nature. Realize this and embody it. With that being said, like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.